Well, hello, space engineers. Welcome back. And we are here standing in the hotel. Did a lot of work. It's actually been a couple weeks because I, screwed up the recording last time, but a lot of work has been done off camera. And we're actually getting fairly close. There's details left, of course, but the station's actually not looking too bad at all, shape-wise. So, first let's start with... Oh, hold on, switch cameras. Get into here. We are not yet, we are actually sealed up, but I don't have it closed up because I don't want to waste the oxygen. We've got a big hole down there we're going to deal with later. But otherwise, this would be sealed up in here if I were to close that door. But I've got all these rooms done, and I've decided to put 3 on each side. And originally, let's see, don't know if I talked about it, but I was going to put a window there, but to keep things more compact, I ended up doing a back-to-back thing, so there's 3 more rooms down this side doing the same thing. Got all the lights set up. Do have some external windows. Still getting froze up on occasion. And all the way down here on this end, we have basically the same thing on the second floor. So we've got 3 rooms here, and I did 3 rooms here. We do have some external windows looking out into things. Similar hallway down here. So the hotel section is kind of plain and barren. It's not really an upscale place, but that's okay. But it is done. And all the venting, I actually use these Willis ducts. That is what transfers air into these rooms. So you see we've got another one here, and that does pass oxygen. So even if these were to close off, it would still get oxygen in those rooms. And I think hidden behind these walls here is where it goes back down to the first floor, to where it's all hooked up with these here. And this vent here is what will pressurize this entire place. But that also means if there's a breach somewhere, the whole hotel goes down at once, instead of just individual rooms, because they're ducted in using those vents. But I'm okay with that. Let's see, over here, I haven't done a whole lot over in here. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Yep, that was pressurized. I'm trying to avoid I need some lights in here. I'm trying to avoid using up too much oxygen. But that was pressurized. So I've got that sealed up now. Beyond that, I haven't done a whole lot. I really need to put lights in. Let's see. I ought to turn that on to decompress. Yeah, it's on depressurize. I guess it just didn't have any room to push the oxygen back out to other places. Gonna close that back. I'll leave that sealed up, but that is sealed up also. That's oxygenated. And externally, I finished the bottom of it. Or I put a bottom on it. That was a lot of welding to get all that done. But I think it ended up okay. I mean, it is just kind of a flat, blank expanse, but right now I'm kind of okay with that, because I can't think of anything else. And that is finished all the way up to around here. So I've got that completely done. There. But we do still have a great big hole down here on this end. And it's just hollow underneath here. This gave me some room. Boy, it's dark down here. To put stuff, including, in case you weren't paying it too much attention, we now have a gravity generator. I guess, yeah, put the control against the wall. That's okay. But we do have a gravity generator down here, and I was able to do the base with just one of them. They've got longer reach than I was thinking, or my base is smaller than I was thinking. But it's got gravity. And so far, all the areas that aren't connected to this here space, this main corridor directly, are sealed off. So if I'll close that door, it would seal that off. I'll close this door, and you saw how the maintenance section had air in it. So all that would be sealed. This is the last place that really needs that. But we need a way to get out of the station into space. So that means we get to play with airlocks today. So, we need to get that started. Let me get things organized here. Let's see if I can't remember how I was going to do these airlocks. Nope. And I'll start with just 50 of those. Don't think I'll need any construction components.
Energy low.
Whoops. Let me take care of that. I can find a seat or put a seat somewhere on the station or a medical bay that I can actually get to without breaking the oxygen seal on the... But this works. So, how are we going to do this? Well, I think I'm going to start. Let's just put another row here. And it's looking like we're only going to have room for a couple of doors. It'd been nice to have more, and I may be able to expand it out, but let's just do 2 of them for now. So let's go find our doors. Nope, there they were. Let's see, and that's in the center. Do I want it in the center or do I want it offset? Let's do it offset. So let's go with a couple of doors like that. Then below that, see, this is pretty squared off right here, so we can do that. Okay. So below there, we're going to have... Where are they? I don't think it matters too much. We're going to go with the half vent down here on the floor. Then we want Another set of those. So it's going to be a fairly cozy airlock if I do it like that. But that also means it's going to take less time to pressurize and depressurize. So I think I'll stay with that. So we've got our vents down there. Oops, wrong button. We're going to pull those off like... Darn it. That's going to get in the way of that. I've got the room here. I can go down first. And then we can do that. Ah, that puts me into that. So you've got to have room for sensors here. Let's see. If I move them up to here, well, no. Because I'm going to need room up there. And I need room for sensors on each side of this. Well, this down here doesn't need to be sealed up, so we can just take those off. Oh, I didn't need to take that off the middle. Then we can put in, as soon as I find them, our oxygen tanks. Then we can go back to here, back to there. And I can cover those up later if I need to. Let me weld these back in. Well, those weren't what I wanted. Helps if you pay attention to what you're doing. Let me get rid of all that. So we can go there like that. There we go. Okay, we've got that. We've got our oxygen tanks for our... And these need to be separate from the rest of the system. These will service just these airlocks, and that's it. So we've got that. We've got that. I think that's going to be where stuff's at. Did I miss it? I think I missed it. Let's do that. Let's do that. And that's on both of them. I think that's correct. Or got them in there all correct, I should say. And then down here we can put in our... We're going to need 2 of them. Yeah. Going to have 2 of those. And in here... Let's see, we're not going to be able to really do anything there. Go back to world list. Let's put in those there. Let's go ahead and switch over to our wall color. Let's do that. Oops. And put that there. Put those there. Out here in the middle. Let's see. I'm thinking doing that. That'll give a smidgen more
Energy
room
low.
in there. We're going to ignore that energy thing for a touch. The bottom of this, I need construction component to lay those. So I do need some of that. Let me get up in here. I think I can pull across. Yeah, it's going to let me do that. Some there. So we can put those in there like that. I might do some shaping here on the outside eventually. Let's have that there. What does that look like if I go silver? Let's do that direction for those 2. Then let's go back to this. that there. These spots. Do this. We can drop these in there like that. We can do that. And let me see here. I think I can get away with just one of those there. Let's see, those are going to be the wrong color, aren't they? Down here. Let's go back to that, this. I think I'm going to do the staggered thing like that again. Okay, so the sensors are going to drop, but I can... So this might have to be a little deeper. So I can do that. Extend it out like that. And over in these corners we can drop in those. Tell you what, let me get this all laid out. And sealed up, welded up, and I'll come back after that. Well, I've got that all welded up, put in place. I haven't covered up this spot here yet, but I can do that later. I can do that off camera. That also gives me access back here. So I've got a pair of event controllers. And these two airlocks will work independently of each other. Everything's going to be its own airlock. So that's why I've kind of doubled up everything here. So I've got two sensors for each airlock. I've got a vent. I've got its own separate oxygen tank. Event controllers, doors, all that. I got everything named. So if we come in here, you can see it's all named. So we're going to get things set up here. We're going to... I don't have any gravity here? Guess I need to extend my gravity range because it stops out here in the airlock. I think I've got enough room I can extend that. I'll do that later. But anyways, we're going to close those. We're also going to turn these off. So let's get this thing set up. See, so the exterior door is off and closed. So we want the exterior sensor. That's going to be on. The interior sensor we're going to turn off. Both those are going to be on pressurized. So we're going to do this. Setup actions. Okay, what's pressurizing? Oh, I think I know. Come on, game. There. Don't want pressurized quite yet. Anyways, airlock 2. Setup actions. This is airlock 2, so we want the interior door in the first one to open. We want the exterior door in the second slot to open. So the air vent is what's controlling the opening and closing of those doors. Then we're going to go into our event controller. We're going to go to door opened. Gonna select these two, add blocks. I'm gonna select actions. And let's move everything, find everything here. Here, we're going to just tell it to turn on off. The same thing with the sensors. Turn on off. Turn that on off. Turn that on off. And depressurize on off on the air vent. So that's all on the external, on the controller. On the sensors, oops. We're going to, darn it, which one was this? This is the external sensor. So the airlock, we want the interior door. We're going to close. with the sensor. And on the interior sensor, we want that one to close. So the interior sensor is switching the exterior door. The exterior sensor is closing the interior door. Okay, that all should be set up now. So we're focusing on just this one side for now. We've got our controller in the second slot. We're depressurizing our vent, switching our sensors on and off, and our doors on and off, all for this side. And we are starting with the exterior door off. The interior sensor is off, but the exterior sensor is on. So if we show on HUD, is that going to show up? That's not really showing up. Or is this not show sensor field range? So we can see there that that sensor by that door is on. Let's turn that off. So we're all set up. So now, if we were to pressurize this place, this airlock should work. So let's come down here, start doing some pressurizing. Turn that on. On. Oops. Turn that on. It's kind of a big place. It's going to take a bit to pressurize everything. So we are now got oxygen in here. See, our helmet is closed. So if we walk up to here, it closes that, depressurizes. Okay, we've got a leak somewhere, because that's not depressurizing all the way. Let me off, on, open. Okay, so where's our leak? We were getting air into here from in here somewhere. So let me depressurize all this. Turn that back on. Oops. Want to empty out that oxygen tank the best I can here. And turn that off. Then we're going to turn that back on. Open. So where's our leak? There's nothing down here leaking. Is this thing airtight? I think that's airtight. Do we leak between the left and right sides? I wouldn't think so. Let me get this air leak figured out and I'll be back. Well, I think I got it figured out. I believe I had that not half panel, but that centered panel in the middle. Apparently, I don't think it was airtight because it was talking across these two. So even though this door was closed, because this door is open, it's pulling all the air out through there into that vent. So don't know why that was, but apparently those are not airtight like I thought they would be or should be. But everything is now working and I've got them both set up. So right now we're in an oxygen environment. So we close that and it even cycles it if we just close it, or trip the sensor and it'll cycle it then. If we go into here, so this one's set up the same way. Let's go through this again. Don't know how many times we've gone through this, but I'm going to go through it again anyways. We've got the doors, internal and external, both selected. And the event we are controlling or monitoring is door opened. We go into select actions and put it into the second slot, which this happens when the door closes. So whenever one of those doors close, it will turn on or off the external sensor, the external door, the internal door, and the internal sensor, along with switch to depressurize on the vent on or off. And right now, we're on the inside. We can see that our external door is closed. It is also off. But our external sensor for that one is on. Our interior door is on and open. But our internal sensor is off. And our vent right now is depressurize off. And the first slot, we will open the interior door, and the second slot we will open the exterior door. So whenever it's pressurized, or the vent pressurizes the room, it will open the interior door, and whenever it depressurizes it, it will open the exterior door. And this can be controlled with buttons versus sensors, but I've got the sensors in there, no buttons to push. And it doesn't matter what combination you do. So you can go in and out. It'll pressurize, it'll open. You can even approach a door that's closed. And it will cycle. Even if you trigger one, then back off, it'll still work. So, that's my airlock setup. Uses 2 sensors, 1 event controller, and then all the other normal stuff you have for an airlock. 2 doors, vent, And if you want it separate from the rest of the system, which is usually a good idea, you have its own oxygen tank. This could also be set up to where, as some people do, you'll have one event controller for every airlock on the station or ship or whatever, and it just kind of cycles them all on or off. Cycles them all, your airlocks at once. But that's my setup, and it is now working. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you around next time.